Hello and welcome. Over the past few days we have been journeying together to the cross. This week is known as the Holy Week. We are looking today at Peter and his denial of Jesus. Jesus had just had his last supper with his disciples. Upstairs in a room they had gathered. This was not to be any joyful occasion. It was here that Jesus spoke again about his pending death. It was here that Jesus told them that one of them would betray him. I could just imagine that the mood was tense and sombre. Jesus added to this mood when he turned to Peter and said this: "Simon, Simon, Satan has asked to sift each of you like wheat. But I pleaded in prayer for you, Simon, that your faith should not fail. So when you have repented and turned to me again, strengthen your brothers." Then we read in Luke chapter 22, verse 33, Peter said, "Look, I'm ready to go to prison with you and even to die with you." But Jesus said, "Peter, let me tell you something. Before the rooster crows tomorrow morning, you will deny 3 times that you even know me." Then, within several hours, Jesus was arrested. In a courtyard, officials and ordinary people asked Peter 3 times if he was one of Jesus' disciples. Each time he said, No, I'm not." Luke tells us that Peter remembered what Jesus had said to him and left the courtyard weeping bitterly. The guilt and the shame of his 3 denials got to him. Well, that was Peter just before the death of Jesus. The Peter after the resurrection of Jesus was very different. We know from records and traditions that Peter was instrumental in establishing the church in Jerusalem. Even when he was threatened of imprisonment, Peter continued to boldly declare that Jesus was the Messiah. However, something needed to happen with Peter before he launched forth as a great leader of the new movement. Within hours before Jesus ascended into heaven, he went and joined his disciples for breakfast. He made a beeline for Peter. There was some unfinished business between Jesus and Peter. The story is found in John chapter 21. Throughout the breakfast, nothing was said about that incident. Finally, Jesus, after they had finished eating, asked Peter, "Do you truly love me?" Well, where did that come from? Peter knew. He said, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus asked again and again that same question. Asking Peter 3 times, "Do you love me?" was seen as a call to undo his 3 previous denials. With these 3 public reaffirmations of his love and loyalty to Jesus, Peter was forgiven. Until that had been done, Peter was not ready to be a follower of Jesus. The barrier of failure and sin had not been removed. The Holy Week was tough for Jesus in so many ways, betrayal and denial. Today, reflect on how each time you, by your actions, knocks the emotional wind out of God. Come and tell God how sorry you are. Then ask yourself if there is any unfinished business between you and him. Like he did with Peter, God will restore you. May God bless you today as you ponder upon this story and how it impacts your life.